You're with Julian on the Brown Notes and Cassie Ventura versus P. Diddy versus Sexism. So I am sure that we have all been enthralled by the P. Diddy trial, where he is shown to have been a great fan of baby oil and apparently abusing anyone that worked for him in the most sexual manner possible, with a number of extremely troubling revelations from Cassie Ventura in the first week of the trial. Cassie herself, a R&B singer that was signed to P. Diddy. Now, I would say it was like new wave sexism, but really what's happened with her on trial has been very similar to what's happened with a lot of other attractive women that have gone on trial. And she isn't on trial, she's a witness, and that's the same again. I mean, we only have to look at what's happened with Brittany Higgins in Australia to see a corollary, which is that certain people are always determined to find the woman wrong, even if she is a witness to her own rape or to sexual abuse or to violence or to anything else. A section of the public are naturally predisposed to finding them the guilty party. I think unless you're an Indigenous person, being an attractive young woman on trial is probably the worst thing you can be. Now, I did a piece a couple of years ago, I think, about are you a racist? And it's not that people think they're racist. They just happen to choose, based on that issue's information, the same way every time, because they're looking for it. And the notion is that, you know, I oppose a no vote for X reason this time, but yet all the other times you found yourself voting the same way or feeling the same way about an issue. And it's the same with women as well. People are naturally predisposed, even confronted with this monster, even with the enormous evidence. Like we've just had the second witness on in this trial saying that she witnessed Cassie being violently beaten by P. Diddy. And you can just tell by the enormous weight of the number of people involved in this trial how bad this is. But naturally, people have turned on Cassie Ventura as being a gold digger, as being making it up, as being a willing participant in all of these events. And this is pro forma how a lot of people work who are sexist. And they don't agree that they are sexist. They say, yeah, but this evidence. But you're looking for it already. You're looking for a reason you can hang it on her. These are really classic examples of sexism, as they use, you know, many of the tropes that have made it so difficult for women to report sexual assault. You know, in Cassie's case, she was a gold digger. She knew what she was doing. She was into sex. All these things, you know, the way that she behaved. These are all continually used against women on in rape trials. Why did she stay so long? Saying to someone that, why did they stay so long? I myself, unfortunately, are part of a very small group of men that understands exactly why a woman stays. This is down to the fact of abuse not happening on day one, but building over a long period of time, and you becoming a shell of a human being who doesn't have any agency where they would actually be able to do something as strong as leave. When you have become a ghost due to fractional increases in the abuse that you suffer over a number of years, you don't have anything like the willpower or strength. When somebody you believe is much more powerful than you is capable of treating you gradually worse and worse, you don't have the strength to leave. And that's always the thing. Why didn't you leave your abuser? You just don't. If you think that, you don't understand how abusive relationships work. And Diddy is the CEO of the company. If he was the CEO of a marketing firm and he had all of these staff members lubed up, being pummeled by male prostitutes that they'd been hiring for these sex parties, there would be some kerfuffle about his behaviour as a CEO. The power imbalance there is enormous. Let alone the continual reports of violent abuse and blackmail. But this isn't new. I mean, Cassie's not the only person who is a witness in this trial. We're on to, I think, Dawn Richards, who is backing up everything she said and claiming that she's witnessing Diddy violently beating up Cassie. Is that because she likes sex or smoked a joint? Or we just have this innate, predisposed sexism to want to find the devil in an attractive woman and to blame her, even though he is clearly a monster. And it goes back, even in this country, it goes back. It goes back to Lindy Chamberlain, the one whose dingo stole my baby. She was found to be attractive, wore tight sweaters, and a bit weird. And she went to jail. And then eventually they went, actually, we got it all wrong. But a section of the public wanted her to be guilty. We had it with Joanne Lees, when her boyfriend, Peter Falconio, was murdered in the outback in the Northern Territory. Because she was hot and because she might have cheated on her boyfriend, the amount of coverage at the time and public sentiment that said that she was the guilty one that did the murder. Same with Amanda Knox, the student who was involved in the slaying of her flatmate in Italy and went to jail for years over it on no evidence. But the public, because she was hot and because she smoked a joint, they wanted her to be the guilty one. Even though there's no evidence and she was cleared, they all still believe that she's guilty because of the devil woman. And this is the way we feel all the time. The evidence can be overwhelming and there's virtually no focus on the men in these trials. There's been virtually no focus on P. Diddy at all. Despite this incredible, amazing, multi-year raft of evidence to his character and behaviour. It's like, well, she probably brought it on herself. And we wonder why women don't report rape. The people supporting Diddy in this scenario don't even support Diddy. They just want to attack her. There's just an awful lot of us that are predisposed to mistrust attractive women, and it comes from a root of sexism.